What's My Line? Brought to you by Helene Curtis, makers of Stopette deodorants, flowing cream, spray, and stick, Suave hairdressing, and Endon dandruff treatment shampoo. Now let's all play What's My Line?
All right, panel, a very good beginning. Let's see, you can do as well with the second challenger. Will you come in and sign in, please? Mildred Beery, is that right? Miss or Mrs. Beery? Mrs. Beery, and where are you from, Mrs. Beery?
I'm from St. Augustine, Florida.
Pardon me just a minute. Been storming up here lately. From St. Augustine, Florida. That's fine. Mrs. Beery, would you say hello to the panel?
How do you do?
Beery, will you come and sit over here with me now, please? I'm sorry. Sorry about these boots, but there's 15 inches of snow out where I live, you know. All right, Mrs. Beery, do you know how we keep score?
Yes, I do.
Fine, then let's let everybody in the theater except the panel and our folks at home know exactly what your line is. All right. And now, panel, Mrs. Beery is salaried, and let's begin the general questioning with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Mrs. Beery, I don't know very much about St. Augustine, but Mr. Wynne apparently does. Do you have anything to do with animals?
Well, yes, I do.
You hesitated.
Uh-huh.
You really do?
Yes, Mrs.
Yes,
Beery
I do.
does.
They're an important part of your work.
Yes, they are.
Are they animals that move along on the ground rather than in the ocean?
Yes.
Are they reptiles of any kind?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Gable.
You're on the right track.
Florida is developing a horse breeding industry. Have you anything to do with horses?
Yes, I do have.
Have you anything to do with horses that engage in racing, for example?
No.
That's 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
Do you have anything to do with the health of horses?
No.
With the health of horses?
Health, H-E-A-L-T-H.
The health of horses. That makes it 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Wynne.
Do you have anything to do with raising horses that are used to show?
No.
That makes it 4 down and 6 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Well, if they don't race,
It's not established that she raises them.
There's been no call for a conference, please, Miss Kilgallen.
there won't be for a moment, but only a moment. If these are horses that you deal with, and they are not racing horses, are they horses that are domesticated? They're not wild horses, are they?
They're domesticated.
Domesticated. Are they born in the United States?
Yes.
The horses?
Yes.
Yes.
At least they're naturalized.
Are we dealing with anything else at the moment?
No.
Do you deal with various ages and colors of horses?
No.
Oh.
Well, now, wait a minute here. We have to have a small conference.
No various ages and colors.
Actually, Miss Dorothy, I think to be fair, we would have to agree that the horses with whom Mrs. Beery deals are not all of exactly the same age. They could be variously aged, I would suppose. And they might actually have different hues.
I'm only trying to narrow down a subject about which I don't know very much, except they all have 4 legs.
Do you want to ask that question if all these horses have 4 legs?
Yeah, I think I'll assume that, John, if I may. Do these horses, are they trained for anything special eventually?
Yes.
Or do they become circus horses by any chance?
No.
No. That makes it 5 down and 5 to go, and the affirmative answer on training should not be taken too literally.
Well, even to take the bit within their teeth, a certain amount of training is...
Yes, and that's what I meant. The training is
Within that narrow.
to be considered routine training.
Are these horses intended to be driven by human beings in a carriage or a wagon or a hackney or something of that kind?
Yes.
They are. Now, we haven't determined what do you have anything to do with the health of these horses?
That has been asked so
not
that
a no.
you can have another question.
Do you raise these horses?
No.
That makes it 6 down and 4 to go, Miss Francis.
Well, now, Martin just said that these horses are trained to lead a carriage of some kind. Is that correct? And you answered yes to that.
They're not trained, but they do ultimately. Perhaps is about as close as I got.
Eventually, they
I'm expecting you to vindicate the honor of the family, Arlen.
I'm going to give you one more minute, panel, and I must rush.
Are we warm?
Well, I say you got to the horses right early, but you ain't done well saying. And I will say this to you. This is a real tough one, so you don't need to feel
Well, are
unhappy.
these horses other than horses? Like, are they ponies or anything like that?
No, 7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Wynn. You want to try a question?
We have these horses in harness, am I correct?
You've got them in harness.
Are they used, we have
Fire
established the
horses.
fact that they are not used for show, such as a hackney pony.
That's right.
So, are they used for stagecoaches and western shorts?
No. 8 down and 2 to go. Actually, I'm going to flip them. Dorothy, you want to try one? Have you got any
Just
glimmer?
fire horses was the only thing I could
No.
think of. No.
Actually, and you see, Mrs. Berry has a rather special association with horses. She makes hats for them. And I didn't believe it either, so we brought you one. Let me explain. In St. Augustine, they have these carriages and horses. I believe it's the Coley family, is it?
The Cooley family.
Cooley family. And they have about 35 of them, and the people ride around them. And Mrs. Berry got the idea of making hats for them, and this is part of the panoply and pomp of St. Augustine. This is one of the horses' hats.
It's very becoming.
Isn't that something?
Mr. Daly, these horses have been on the streets of St. Augustine for 75 years, 365 days a year. But if it snows any further in Florida, we're going to have some sleighs.
And needless to say, these horses are the oldest horses you've ever heard about. They've been on the streets for 75 years. There's where the horses' ears go, by the way. Do you want to take this with you and show it to the panel? Thank you very much. It was very nice to have you with us. We meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first here is a word from our alternate sponsor.